Ha! Okay,
Warming up.
I want to finish your terraforming. Grr, gigil. Gigil is me. Okay. Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. And then Antutan today is like, well, we're calling it a Mother's Day episode, so I wonder how that's going to be like.
I hope Sam's okay.
Yeah, well, you know, take time.
Hey, Urim. How are you today?
Long time, Urim.
Urim, audio check. Can you hear us? Please comment if you can hear us. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Please tell us if you can hear us.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Yes, commented yet if you can hear us.
Well, there's also the message delay.
Um, Let's set on. Okay, there's audio.
It should be okay because now we were just on a call, so it was working on the call. Had my computer worked out in the middle of the call, then yeah, that would be.
So there was just that moment of, you were humming the song, and then I could hear the song. Hey, Noel. Happy Mother's Day.
So
to
we
you
have
and your
Urim
mom.
and Noel on Facebook. Yes, happy Mother's Day. We have Kenny over on YouTube.
Thank you,
Hello,
Kenny.
hello.
Did not see it till now. Loud and clear. So yes, this is our quarantine check-in, and we will start officially in a few more minutes.
Yeah, sorry we're late. We're in the middle of a Terraforming Mars game with Urim. I am determined to win this one. I think I have a good chance.
You have a great chance.
I can't believe I'm sitting on 40 card points.
Mhm.
That's rare.
And then you were able to get the cities out and stuff. And I was just
I have no plants. I have no greeneries around a lot of you. They're just stick to one. I'm doing it for pets.
I'm very frustrated with my game, but that's only because I had plans with certain cards and then I couldn't use them pala. So parang Anyway, let's get started. This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
This is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. It's our quarantine check-in episode.
I'd like it to be a checkout.
For week 61.
Yes, this Sunday marks the beginning of the 61st week of quarantine. I have been counting because we officially started on March 15, 2020, which was also a Sunday. And gosh, life sucks. Okay, so yeah, and for those who are, in case there are people who are new to this format,
too much headroom.
Okay,
Your chin's hitting the captions.
If people are new to this, episode format, really, it's just a safe space sort of episode and checking on how everyone is, and we can talk through things.
So today was also Mother's Day,
Yes.
which can be a sensitive topic for people given the pandemic. For some, they have not seen their moms in quite a while. For others, they may have lost their moms, whether or not it's because of the pandemic
or directly COVID related,
or due to
hospital utilization rates and all that.
The complications that happened with the pandemic. And then for others, it could be different forms of separation, whether it's physically being unable to be together, to other reasons of not being together. So, all in all, it was a complicated celebration for some, for others.
Yeah, and I don't know, even just last night, I find myself randomly tweeting again, I miss going out, I miss friends, I miss going to Obar, I miss, and then I have these like little rants every now and then, and I know I've pretty much posted almost exactly the same tweet a few times already across the course of this
Mhm.
situation. So yeah, it gets a little frustrating. And then you even just like trying to answer the question, hey, how are you? Um, I think we always end up like disclaimering our answer, or it's like things like well as could be in
Mhm.
quarantine, or not great, not bad, mm, that sort of thing. It's a
And
very very middle of the road.
it's also weird how it sometimes feels parang nagigilty ka to respond if you're doing okay.
There is that. There
No,
is that
like
too.
they'll be like, "So how are you?" And you're thinking, "Today was a good day," but then it sounds like you're boasting or you're, if you like say, "Oh, everything's fine for me today,"
Yeah.
so it's ah.
I mean, like it's like little things like currently our company has a bunch of open positions, and even though we're hiring maybe one person per position, it just best to be in a position to be screening and hiring
Mhm.
is a gift in itself.
Yes.
And like, and then there are so many people. Like I formally ask, like, when is your most reasonable start date? When are you next available? And most people are ASAP. Most people are like, I'm unemployed. I need a job now.
Mm-mm.
Like, oh my god, it's nice to be a job creator. It's pressuring to be a job creator.
AJ.
You can't help everyone. It's still a business,
Mhm.
and you'll still make a decision what's best for you guys. But it's just awkward, I guess, to be in that position and to
Mhm.
to be kind of exposed to that.
And then you have the frustrations of wanting to get some sense of normalcy back, but then finding that the attempts to do so aren't made easier. For example, passports.
Oh my god.
Even if we're not really planning to travel, a passport is still one of the recognized government issued documents
That are easier to get.
for
Yeah.
identification that you can easily get. But then now to get your passport done, there's still all these little steps that you'll have to fulfill. You'd think they'd try to simplify things given the pandemic, but no. um,
Yeah, I mean, like, imagine. Then I feel guilty, like, because, like I mentioned, we're hiring people, and then I give like our typical like new hire document list when we do make an offer to someone, and then I'm
mm,
asking for the usual like the clearances and other
the
government stuff,
yeah,
and there's that guilt of I'm sorry, I need to make you go
to,
queue
yeah.
and get these things because I still need them as a business.
And
Um,
sadly, there has not been. There are no alternative ways to get those things done as far as
yeah,
the government side is concerned.
yeah, there's no purely online procedure for like majority of the government
Makes you wish
stuff.
we were more like Singapore.
Yeah, so it's and then like I'm kind of appreciative of the national ID movement starting to move forward, but even that has like been super buggy, and it still requires you to show up in person because there's biometrics that are going to be recorded. So
Hey, Mitch. Yeah, Noel shares. Tell me about it. Just want to share. I had to sue one ex-employee for breach of non-compete clause. Felt so guilty, but had to do it because it would set a precedent. That's
proceeded, yeah.
precedent.
And
That's
it's painful.
yeah.
It's business. So it's like you sign the contract
Mhm.
and sorry, that's how it goes. I get it. I totally get it. Um, and I don't know. There are no easy answers to any of this, and we are all just doing our best to
Oh,
get
Mitch, these aren't white shirts. They are.
it's Tintin. Um, but yeah, they're resting on our
They're
stomachs.
very white because it's down there.
They're also white because Tide.
Yeah, these are old shirts.
They're quite old, but they're not super white. But they're whiter, as white as can be reasonably done.
And then what else? We have recently been hearing from some friends who have been asking if we know any job openings, if we know any opportunities they may have, and unfortunately,
I don't, especially
um,
with their skill sets.
yes, depending on their skill set, we
I
don't
mean,
necessarily have openings that we can offer.
yeah, it's a lot of friends who are like in entertainment roles or in
Service industry.
service roles, and there's just not enough
Mhm.
scope for that.
And
And then our particular companies don't necessarily have openings in that area.
had it been in a different point in time, let's say if they were looking for opportunities and it wasn't a pandemic, then maybe we could have like, oh, sige, let's make you a gopher to help us in the
Yeah,
company.
like general office staff and like, but then I don't even have an office right now. We're all working from home. So yeah, it's quite a challenge. And then I think the one of the weird things I've been noticing also
Thank you, Yer.
is sort of like this pandemic I don't know what to call it, like a pandemic creep or like this loss of time where because all of our interactions are online and stuff, and then there are some people that I try to chat up every now and then,
Mhm.
but then a lot of people like I can't. What's this? I can't consciously. I don't always get to consciously talk to, and then like when I do start up a message or they start a message with me, then I see like, oh my god, months have passed since we last talked,
Yeah.
and I guess normally it wouldn't be too weird if it were just like typical social media behavior. Then yeah, there are a lot of people you don't chat with for a long time. But on the flip side, had we been able to go out, these are the people we bump into at OBAR or
And we'd
events
be
and
in
stuff,
touch.
and we'd be generally more in touch. And
Yeah.
so then I'm like, am I being a terrible friend by not chatting them more? But at the same time, what are we going to chat about? And just say like, hi, hope you're
Noel,
not sucky.
in terms of your offer, Noel, check if you can help Justin or Lawrence. I know one of them drives. I'm not sure about the other one. But yeah. um, Mitch says, "Thank you, Transportify. My mother's gift to mom arrived on time."
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then today is like, which is like, I guess what's happening now for a lot of the holidays where, whew, all the delivery services get super booked now because of,
Mhm.
I mean, like if you're, a lot of people are thinking of like, yes, let's, have lunch delivered for the family so that you can have Mother's Day lunch, blah, blah, blah. And then my social media feed was filled with like all these like, I can't book a Grab, I can't book Food Panda, I can't book whatever.
Mhm.
And I get it. It's like, oh my god, it's nice that people are trying not to go out and just stay home, but at the same time, oy, it's the volume of I guess online delivery support for things is insufficient to deal with the higher demands for a holiday. But then not every day is a holiday, so then it's like not enough to stretch across.
So Kenny shares, seeing them active in social media feels like an interaction. Kaya sometimes I don't notice I haven't talked to them pala for a while.
There is that, like reading updates, then you feel updated and in the know. But then in
Mhm.
terms of like actually talking to people, then it kind of surprises you, like, oh, yeah, maybe I like their posts. I
Mhm.
don't really comment, and then I see their updates. But then when did you actually last really talk to the person? And time will really go by. And I find myself trying to consciously put effort into like leaving comments more. So then I feel like I'm saying something.
Mhm.
It's still not the same.
So
So yeah, tricky.
shady to be alert moment, but
Mm.
I've also noticed a lot of friends who, because interactions have been now more focused on social media, they kinda are trying to be more edgy with their social media tweets
Oh,
so that people react to their posts.
there is that, which is
And
like natural behavior, I
and
guess.
it's, I mean, um, you know how a lot of people try to do all these hot takes to sound, you know, highfalutin smart and stuff, and it's frustrating sometimes because you'll have one bashing about this and that because it should have been this or that way, but then they're totally overlooking certain details that invalidate their post.
Mm.
So it's just lots of experts all of a sudden.
Experts.
But I guess people find ways to
Yeah,
continue interacting. Thirst trapping, I think, has never really changed, but many are starting to
I think it's
be
going
more.
beyond
I
thirst.
think many are starting to be more creative, which is interesting.
Maybe there's some really stupid ones, and like, but that's okay. That's social media 101. I mean, like we can't do anything about that. But as long as they're not being deliberately misinformative or
Mhm.
destructive, disruptive, then I'm like okay. So okay. A lot of rants. I guess what's working? What's working so far?
Are we talking about personal level or government level?
No, let's just start with us. I can only control so much. So,
What's working so far? Um, so your back's no longer aching.
oh yeah, I had a
So
back pain
you're
thing.
now back to being able to do yoga and a bit more of your workouts.
I'm
But
I'm starting a proper workout plan again tomorrow. Starting tomorrow. I'm
mm,
excited.
um,
My workouts are very important to
I'm
me.
also aware of more friends who are now, they're taking more time to do exercises, or many are starting to consider trying intermittent fasting. A few are actually super reducing their sugar intake as well. Um, I've had some friends who I was surprised to hear from them that they've actually not been smoking either. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, okay,
good.
that's good. But they're like, oh my God, di ko naisip. I had 2 months now I haven't smoked. And I'm like, that's how it works. So I guess those are good. I guess those are some of the good things. Urim says tabletop simulators love, which is true.
I mean, in general, like I think we've been really leveraging online board games, and as much as like Toby and I are still sitting on a increasingly growing collection of games,
Mhm.
there are times then I'm like, you want to just play the digital version because I don't want to clean up. Like, let's just get some mileage, get some Steam achievements for the game or whatever achievements, and then we get to play with friends here and there. But it's admittedly it takes longer.
Hmm.
I find it takes longer to play the digital versions of board games, but that's it. That is what it is. Mitch says aircon is love. Okay, I must admit, I just saw the latest electricity bill, and then it hurts me. But at the same time, it's an investment
Comfort.
in comfort, in mental
Hmm.
health. Because I can't imagine working and being more
I
uncomfortable
mean,
in
how
the
much
weather.
higher is it? Like double the price?
Um, compared to before pandemic, sure, but at the same time, because we weren't both working from home at the same time,
Hmm.
so electricity load was less because of computers, and
Yeah,
then no air conditioning.
yeah.
Practically, I think we only aircon during the weekends for
But
guests.
to use that perspective, if
Yeah, we're also not going to the movies.
yeah,
We're not eating out much. We're not eating out. We're
gasoline,
just
haven't
delivering.
been using gasoline as much. I practically get gas for the car now once a month,
Yeah.
whereas before it was every week.
Yeah, today, like, because I was with Toby when he gassed up, and he was like, "Can you check the water? Because we haven't done the water in a long time." But then they're like, "Nope, your water's fine." It
Yeah,
just goes to show
because we
the
only use
car's
the
not.
car once a week now.
Yeah, just to go to the grocery, which we can see
Mm.
SM Aura out the window, and then that's it. So it's very limited activities, and then like um, as things were getting super busy, I was falling behind my reading pace. I was getting
Mm.
stressed about that because I need to read one piece of content a day to hit my 365 piece of content in a year. So I feel like I tackled that a bit last night, and then I'll probably be able to knock out another comic or two while still reading a book, and then I finished an audiobook and started another one.
Mm.
So that helps. And I know it sounds crazy in itself, but that's these things give me comfort. Okay, just
Noel mentions lots of people na biglang nagiging sexy star. I'm not complaining. I'm happy to see people be more happy with their bodies.
and more generous with their happiness.
But I do take issue with those who would post, but then they'll accompany a caption with, you know,
Ang taba ko na.
stuff like that. Either they'll call themselves fat despite the fact you can't see any fat, or worse, they'll talk about it as if it's something so rare and they're so shy to do it. But come on, you do it every week
Okay, or
or
more
every
than
day.
that. Yeah.
And seriously, no one's being fooled by how you're pretending to be innocent.
Ah, Noel says he's down to 2 tumblers of coffee a day. That sounds like a big improvement versus 4. Okay. And then, yeah, Mitch is like, she preferred to shell out a bit rather than getting sick and die in this crazy weather. I mean, that's
Yeah.
true.
And Noel adds, but complaint if they're body shaming. Yeah, a lot of them do very, very indirect body shaming.
Hmm.
Like, they'll show their abs and stuff and go, "Ang taba ko na, I feel so fat." And I'm like,
Whatever that bought something something. Okay,
yeah.
sure. Noel does say his expenses have shifted to yarn, and then I think that's what, like so like we've allocated more money to electricity, which is different from which probably is still less than our going out budget before.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually optimized streaming services a bit. So like I got rid of Amazon Prime and then I'm still weighing HBO is like not bad for the value and we're
Mm-hmm.
still watching stuff. And then Netflix is still okay. Although I'm beginning to reach a point like something we're slowly running out of things to watch. Like there's many things you could watch for the sake of watching. But then like things that like you're super actively following, but not as much as
Well, we
before.
haven't also been touching on a lot.
Yeah.
So like we stopped the Superman stuff. We stopped Debris.
Yeah, but these are not
We-
Netflix.
Well, true.
I'm talking about Netflix, like because we're paying for it.
Hmm.
And then other stuff, not so much. So there is that. I'm trying to juggle also these shows versus like
Hey, Rehan.
the paid program stuff. Oh, hey, Rehan.
What else? Oh my gosh, we hit 10! Yay! It's been a while since we hit 10.
Yay.
10 viewers, a rarity. Yeah.
I'll just put the caption up. The tube guy hasn't been up in a while. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, and but it gets a little stir crazy because okay, I have Google location tracking like super on, and
Hey,
then
Sam.
hey Sam, and um, and then it will normally log like how many places I've been to, and then my April report came in, and then like I've been to two places, and one of them, or like I think both of them was Mercury drunk, because it's when I do supplies for my parents.
I get those prompts on, you recently visited SM Aura. Was it really good?
Yeah, and then
clean?
it's like, or it's like, do they scan temperature? Do they? Yeah. So my Google stuff is very not exciting. And then at least Toby goes out once a week for grocery. I still haven't been accompanying Toby for safety reasons. So,
But then you'd have your occasional medicine trips.
but my medicine trip's once a month.
Mhm.
So I rarely leave. I rarely leave the apartment. My most frequent trips are downstairs for picking up deliveries, but that's about it.
Or
So
throwing out garbage in the basement.
yeah. So there are times like I start to feel a little stir crazy and a little like, oh my god, really not
Mhm.
going out. I could consider jogging outside, but it still feels not worth the risk. And so I look like an idiot instead jogging here.
Then we're trying to incorporate gaming again. So there's Tabletop Simulator, which is interesting because it allows you options if you haven't invested on board games. There's a lot of
Fan created stuff.
fan-created material that you can use, but it still requires you to know the rules.
Rihan says he's back in Manila.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
interesting. We'll hear from you soon. And then we have what else? We've tried to have a few more role-playing game sessions. We're looking at trying to see a few of them during weekday nights. Sam, you might be our test trial subject for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then food-wise, haven't been getting McDonald's. At most, we've been getting some that is keto friendly. But I mean, before we used to have, I'll get something for me lang in McDonald's and you'll have it. But lately,
Yeah.
we haven't been doing that either.
Admittedly, I have like I feel like if there's like a good thing sort of as of late. It's like I am deliberately trying to minimize our
Joke though. Okay, go on.
sad. I deliberately try to minimize how often we order out, and then as much as possible will cook. But there is that sometimes I feel like guilty, like I'm cooking. I literally cook the same things over and over every week. Like I'm probably gonna cook sinigang once. I'll probably cook kimchi soup once. I'll probably cook a cabbage stir fry
Well,
once.
we don't really have a choice.
Yeah, and
We
then
haven't
each of
expanded
these
our menu.
each of these will last 2 times at least because I tend to cook in large quantities. And it is what it is. And yeah. I saw the Mercury online order thing. The volume of my order makes me always want to check it in person because there are just so many different medications. So I phone it in and then I go and then
We do check.
yeah,
before you
and then
set up.
like siguro every other month I still see mistakes based
Yeah.
versus my phone in order. So I keep saying phone.
So
So
Noel,
I'll still check.
Noel shares haven't gone out since declared ECQ last Holy Week. Not even the foot out the gate. Well, I think you have a garden, so that's still a big plus.
That's true.
Because
I'd like a garden
I mean,
apart from Toby's
being locked,
sad trees.
being locked, but locked inside, but being able to have a garden is still huge. If we had the roof deck sort of thing that would at least
Oh,
allow us
like if there
to,
were laundry cages
yeah,
upstairs, if we
then
could
we
do
could like
something with.
stay up there for a few hours every now and then. That still would be great.
That would be nice.
Mitch shares pick up lunch this afternoon is first outing since March.
Yeah, when she said her Mother's
Mhm.
Day, she stepped out
And
again
then Noel, remember, stepped out for the vaccine.
for the
So
sister.
scared.
Okay.
Yes. Urim has been cooking in batches. I think that's something we have to consider doing.
Well, technically, I cook in a batch because
Yeah.
I cook large amounts of stuff.
Mm. Me, that only happens with the chicken.
Yeah, but admittedly, the stuff you bake is always best freshly cooked. So it's not something I would want to cook ahead of time.
That's true.
Then it gets a little sad. Yeah. So there's little things. What else? Um, oh, like I tried I tried because I have this other blog called the Geeky Guide to Nearly Everything. Before that was also a daily obligation.
Mhm.
But then, admittedly, it could stress me out trying to rush an article. It was like a newspaper that I was writing for that I wasn't
Yeah.
getting paid for because it was all reviews. So, end of 2019, I think I said, sige na nga, I'll stop. Like, I'll only write every now and then.
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, I would just write one post a month, which is just a summary of like books I've read and
Mhm.
highlighting some thoughts.
And there were plans at first to come up with some sort of serial story here.
Yeah, for my
Mhm.
fiction. So recently I tried like just write out of the blue. I wrote a triple movie review and then just one, and it was nice to do. But then I don't think I ever want to go back to doing it daily because then it starts becoming stressful. Um, yeah. Noel's asked about the coffee. Sorry, haven't tried it yet. I have an open gourmet's Barako, so I need to finish that before I open yours.
Mhm.
So
Because there has to be a system.
my, are you making fun of me? You're making
No.
fun of me.
No.
I just talking about how the
No.
blog gets obsessive, and then yeah,
I can get obsessive.
so I'm sorry. We will get to that. My estimate is at least another 2 weeks before within 2 weeks we will be able to try your coffee because I'll finish all the open coffee. I don't want to open a new one and then have to open sets. Making fun of me. Okay.
No.
Mitch is like thinking of doing a review for wireless earphones and K drama OST. That's fun. Um, Admittedly, the few times I did gadget reviews, I know I got noticed by like one of the people who was doing marketing for Digital Walker, and then they tried sending me stuff for a time, so then I got all these free
stuff.
headphones for a while. But then that stopped. But it was like, oh, okay, cool. And those were like, I wrote it agad. I would just set the disclaimer that I received one for free, but that was fun. Um, yeah, I think my most in-depth reviews are like Lazada reviews. And then recently I've been trying to like add reviews to some of my Steam games just to like feel like it, but there's no benefit to it. It's just I just wrote a review. Um I don't know. I just have all these writing diversions. Yes. What else? What else? How are you guys? I think I've been missing like our Friday night like jackpot calls. So I don't, and it feels so artificial to kind of force it. And I know a lot of people because I got work then at night or something. So then Friday night wasn't a good night. But I kind of miss that. I kind of miss like having other calls with people, and just kind of more casual socializing. But I don't
Although
know.
it's also tricky to map out stuff because we do have schedules and routines.
Mm-mm.
So it's kind of hard to map it out unless we plan it ahead of time.
Yeah, which is like it feels so contrived, or there's the worry that we plan something out and then people can't show up, and then who else like I do review of Yarn to get free stuff. Urim's like I don't know what to review. Urim, you should review Steam Workshop games for Tabletop Simulator.
That sounds.
You should like leave reviews for
And
that
then your
and feedback.
perspectives on whether they're, this one could be cleaner, this one is a bit hard to understand.
Yeah, like that New York Zoo one. Holy crap, that didn't sound like fun. Okay, I haven't played it, but I heard about it. So, well, not because of the game, but because of the implementation on Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, and then at least still keeping in touch with you know, my most regular calls are obviously my family, and that's never changed. I work with my sister, so we talk about every day because of work. But then we also end up, always updating about other things. Although, like, my list of like Kuya tech support things I have to do when I visit Singapore next, whenever that may be, is growing increasingly because they like
Mhm.
I'm the one who I set up their Wi-Fi network on the with a mesh routers, and then I do all those tinkerings, and there are all these little problems that it's so hard to remote diagnose, and I just want to do it in person. So I'll get around to that.
Uh,
Noel says he's been really missing Omar and watching the videos help. I appreciate that. I super appreciate that. And I feel that way too sometimes. We still try to be as involved as possible with a lot of the online shows by the queens. We
mm,
can't necessarily catch all of them. Like Antutan says, it's always on Sunday, which means that we can only stay up until a certain point because there's work tomorrow. And
But at the
then
same time, tonight you might want to catch
Mother's Day show.
their Mother's Day show. That's why we won't stay too long as well for this episode. Hey,
Dane. Yeah.
Dane has joined us. What else?
Um,
Music. So the world went crazy for the Taylor Swift re-release of certain songs.
yes.
We were okay with that. Not
I haven't
necessarily.
listened to any because I didn't listen to the original. Then I can't really tell what's different with this one. But that's me.
Um, Nothing really. No, we haven't really had any big new stuff that we were excited about. We're
Oh.
happy Kylie's appearing in the Australia Drag Race.
Yeah, but that was like super underutilized Minogue sisters. So.
Mhm.
Um, one thing I was like reflecting on recently was that really because it's kind of Oscar season again, and then like there's really that feeling of I miss I miss the movies. I really miss the movies. I miss the feeling of movies going in and out, and then like what's happening. So like there's a bunch of Oscar nominees. Like, oh my god, we never had a chance to see them. And then
Mhm.
I think our main opportunity to see them is really going to be getting creative online to find
Yeah.
copies.
Emphasis on creative.
Very creative. Some of them at least were on Netflix. So like the Trial of the Chicago Seven and Mank, which we watched last night, were Netflix productions that were considered for the
Mhm.
Oscars. So at least we got to watch those. But then there are a lot of movies we just haven't seen, and I miss that. I mean, like I don't necessarily think I'm like a super movie expert, but yeah, at the very least, Toby and I do appreciate should be watching movies together.
Mhm.
So like last night we watched many things in sequence. Uh, we watched Bird Box because I finished the audiobook and I wanted to watch. So we're discovering maybe I can handle horror if I read the book first, and then I'm less scared. Um, and then we watched Mank, and then we watched Love and
There
Monsters.
was Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Oh, that we watched earlier in the week. That was super great. That's like one of the best things I've seen. I expect to see that in the next award cycle for
that
best animated
deserves
feature.
that deserves to be noticed and recognized.
That's super good. And then I don't know, I just super got a kick out of the parents having challenges with technology, which is
relatable.
super relatable for
Sam
Toby.
mentions, I miss ice skating.
I have
most
never
honestly."
ice skated, and now I feel like that is something I should try to do when we can.
Yeah, I've had a few ice skating attempts in the past. I'd always have my feet bad. I struggle to keep my balance. I guess I'm too tall, so I'm not adjusting that quickly. And then I heard later on that they now have these bears. So they're like these giant plastic bears that you can
Oh,
use
that you can
to
like
balance on when
instead
you're,
of just skating with a chair.
yeah. And I'm like,
So you just want to skate with the bear.
yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think I also miss the ritual of it all. For example, for the ice skating, it's you check in, you find the skates you'll use, you switch to the skates, you have that nervous moment before you get to the ring, and all this and that. For theater, it's you get the food, you fall in line, and as you go inside,
Oh, Christian's here, and he
it
says he's
shifts
seen the
to the
bears.
darker room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that sense of um, there's a lot of senses involved as you go through something, and we always just overlook that.
Like I miss our theater stuff.
Mm.
Like it means getting to the venue early because we always get there super
Mm.
early. Checking if they have a program that I can buy because I keep buying the programs and collecting them, and there's a huge stack in the
Mm.
corner of the room. And maybe if there's a souvenir magnet, because souvenir magnets, I feel, remain to be the superior theater Chotsky because we have a few
Mm.
mugs and I don't know what to do with them. But magnets, they live on the fridge, and we have more magnets than fridge. So there's that. And then finally getting our seats, and then us grumbling at people who use their devices to take pictures
Mm.
of the stage before the
And
show.
then Rocky laughing as I pull out my jacket because I'll feel cold despite the warmth of the theater.
Yeah, and then we'll start to play, and then we'll be enjoying it. But then also pointing out people who are using their phones during the thing, and then Toby will try to find ways to be like,
Um, Sam also mentions they do the Bears are stressful. Noel shares Mrs. Theater as well as the Sam. Um, Kenny mentioned
Sony Animation changing the game of mixed media animation.
now.
Yeah,
Now, Kenny, that's actually um, a lot of people have been doing that way back. It's just that Sony has a stronger
styling for
and
it.
well, okay, um, Chowder and other Nickelodeon shows have been doing the mixed media style way, way, way much
That's
earlier.
true.
But of course, they don't have the same impact as Sony doing it.
Or and because it's a movie versus a TV series on
Yes.
a children's network.
So again, this is me ranting about when people find something so groundbreaking and so. But I'm like, actually, no, that's already being done. It's just that they're more in a noticeable position now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Noel's Lion King mug broke. That's sad. See, then that's my other concern about theater mugs. And then
Mm.
it's like, they're super breakable Chotsky. So magnets are superior. And then but yeah, and then it could be us at an intermission, and then one of us will probably go to the bathroom, not at the same time.
Mm.
And then if we're watching at Solaire, it is waiting for the play to end, getting annoyed that people are thinking that curtain call allows them to take their phones out because technically they're still not supposed to. And
Mm.
then us rushing out because we need to get to the car very quickly before the queue at the elevator begins because that parking is terrible.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
But it's still things like that. Or the same thing with like if you watch at RCBC, then it's the rush to the elevator also because you need to get to the basement, but we don't queue with the cars getting out because the ticketing is paid separately in that stupid booth, and
Mm.
they're little like annoying things. But then don't you miss all these things? Don't you miss the rituals of outside life
Sam mentioned super excited for the band's visit
last
last year.
year? Okay.
So
I mean, we still have tickets. We still have the rep season tickets for 2020.
Mm.
And then I think they canceled one show. The other show may still happen. So I still hold on to that ticket.
we also have the tickets to the Brooklyn Heights.
Oh, the
event
Brooklyn Heights thing at
for
Omar.
Omar.
We're supposed to hold on to it, and
Yeah.
then we'll see. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
And then what else? What else? Um, yeah, I lost it. There was something in my head.
Yeah. So at the back of my mind, I'm wondering, like, other than because these live episodes are, of course, it's like very one directional in the sense that we're the ones talking, and then people can comment, but we're like, it's still a very limited interaction. That I don't know if we should do some sort of an online hangout call at times, but then I'm always worried about open calls and then like anybody can go in and then it's hard to control.
And sometimes you just want to hang out, and you have people that are interesting, not to say are available to hang out with you. But then it's interesting how you might have other people who join the call because they're friends of yours, but they don't know the others.
Yeah.
So it becomes awkward for them.
And then like we have to figure out how to, and then it becomes this it's the problem of hosting a party.
So you might have friends who go in na parang, Toby, right? Ay, may ibang tao pala. Hi, just want to say hi. Then they'll leave na. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's kind of sad. So there is that.
That need to curate and like meet different groups so that they know each other, or we just screw it.
or we,
Or what our solution has always been is play a game
yeah.
because then people have a way to talk to each other. So I
Mhm.
guess I kind of missed. I kind of miss it, but I don't have a solution for it.
Because it's also hard to like schedule, okay, today we'll hang out with these people. Because a lot of times personal life does take over.
Mhm.
Suddenly there's something to do with the family or something to do at work.
Or internet is just not cooperating for the day, and then it sucks.
Yeah.
Diba? So, so many things. It's like, nga, like at work, nga, we interviewed this person, and then one of their solutions was like, they leave a call on for the creative team, and then people can dial in. They don't have to talk. It's not a meeting. It's just a call, like to virtually work together. But then I guess by right, leave your mic on so that you can hear each other, like typing. But I don't know. And it's like interesting, but at the same time, I know that a lot of people are struggling with their internet connections or their computer resources. They don't always have enough to run a call the whole day. So I am just throwing these things out there. I don't have
And
solutions.
then I guess there's theater options online. So there was the
Oh
dance
crap! We
one,
have to watch
the
before the
dance.
interval this weekend.
Yes.
Okay, because
So
we watched after the interval last weekend, so
so you
before
have
the
to pay
interval
attention
this
because
weekend.
a lot of the theater groups or the theater outfits, I don't know what's the official term for that, have been making their material available online.
But typically just for the weekend.
Some free, some not.
Some paid
Um,
experiences, yeah.
but ultimately, it's still opportunities if you want to, get in touch or experience those things, even if we're on lockdown.
Oh, next weekend is going to be Cats again
Mm.
on the shows must go on.
And then in the Heights, very excited for that. I can't wait to see how they'll interpret that musical into a movie experience.
The movie technically is out na, diba?
Yeah, but
In the US.
that
So then again, creative means if you want to watch it.
yes. And then beyond that, what else? There's an upcoming musical with Pixar.
Oh my
Lin
god,
Manuel as well.
yeah, I
One
can't
word.
keep
It was a
track
one name. It was a
anymore.
one name. I keep thinking.
Luca or
Yeah, I think it was
something.
Luca. Um,
I can't keep track anymore.
there's interesting series that are out for those who like superhero stuff. There's
Jupiter's
Jupiter's
Legacy.
Legacy. I still like the comic more, but that's almost always going to be the case, except for specific stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Beyond that, we're all still anxiously awaiting for Dune to finally be available.
That's end of
There's
the year, pa.
there's a lot of jokes on how Morbius is once again moved away to a different slot for its release.
Yeah, who
I
cares
think it's
about
like
that's a bad idea for a movie. I'm sorry. It's like on the fringes of the Spider-Man universe, and I don't think Morbius deserves a movie, but whatevs.
we finished the Winter Soldier,
Falcon and the Winter
the
Soldier. So Loki is
upcoming
coming up.
Loki and Doctor Strange, right?
No, Loki first, because Doctor Strange and the
Multiverse.
of Madness. That's like end of the year, pa, I think.
Okay.
So that's quite a while. Quite a while's while. Okay. Oh, Cham was like, friends do that on Discord. It devolves a lot of chaos. That's my other challenge with like the open room. Then it's just like a lot of people making noise.
And it's not necessarily bad, but
Because sometimes the background noise
it's
is
fun.
helpful.
Mhm.
Like you don't feel alone. You feel like you're in an office.
But we can't help but keep note of the very wide range of people who might jump in
Yeah.
because a room that's super generic. Then you have coworkers from abroad, and then you have people who are part of the LGBTQ circles. But then you'll also have old classmates.
Family members. Then you have friends who show up shirtless because that's their default, and it's just interesting.
But at the same time, it feels, I don't know. I'm not comfy at the thought that I'll have all those people mixing into one room. I still kind of like keeping certain people in their own areas, only because I know some of them don't mix.
Yeah, but at the same time, some of them could,
Yeah.
and it's hard to say. And who are we to deny them that opportunity? So don't know. Just constantly trying to figure out
Meow,
solutions.
according to Noel.
Exactly, Noel. Exactly.
Oh, recent updates are like all meow material.
Why are you like that?
Hmm?
Don't be like that.
What?
Shady. See?
It can be so shady. I just choose not to be because they already know.
Excuse me. You don't choose not to be. You are.
I choose
always.
not to be because I haven't been posting on social media.
Ah, yeah. But
You know.
you just tell me.
Yeah, because I could screen cap it, pointlessly cover the eyes and go, really, really, uh, stuff like that. But no, it's okay. So we're also in the need for space. We might have to really consider drastic measures to make more space in our little condo.
Yeah, Toby's already ordered another shelf, and we're gonna figure out where to put that.
I am so we have a bunch of DVDs which we will have to get would dispose of. A lot of well, almost all of them are originals, and we bought them because we like the extras.
But then now we don't really watch the extras.
Yeah, and we don't even know how many people out there still have DVDs.
Physical media is
So-
dying, guys.
So if you do have friends who do appreciate movies and actually still use DVD players, do let us know, and we might just shoot some of the stuff their way for free, just so that at least people enjoy it.
Yeah, because admittedly, we're not sure if all of them are still working and things like that. It's the pros and cons of physical media. And Noel can put up his store in Zoom. Yeah.
Mm.
Things like that. So, and then, oh my God, and then we haven't been able to map out guests for the show.
Yeah.
That because that's always a longer conversation.
We're still looking. We're still hoping to do a Antutan crossover, a monthly Antutan crossover, if it's possible. But we still haven't scheduled that out. Spoke to a few people who might be guests as well.
Oh yeah, we just haven't figured out dates.
Haven't figured out when, because it's also so frustrating and stressful to do work as well. And a lot of stuff at work has been, we need to rush this because we want to hit summer. And we're like, it's already May. Are you seriously still trying to target summer? By now, you should be planning for, October or
Yeah,
ah, people don't plan. So,
they plan. They just they don't have a firm appreciation of work timelines and stuff.
anyway, I guess last few is finally got a new laptop.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud of Toby. After so much deliberation, Toby finally got a new computer. He is mostly on it. I think that you're gonna be able to fully migrate. He's been
Yeah.
working on migrating his files since Friday.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So if you get on a video conference call directly with Toby, you're no longer talking to his forehead
All my calls used to be like this.
because his monitor had to be at a particular angle because if it went too low, it would turn off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, okay, and you're mentioning it's laptop with a chair. That's the thing. So Toby totally didn't notice that his computer comes with a free chair, with a free gaming chair.
Yes.
it's a Predator laptop with a Predator branded chair. We have not assembled the chair because it's in a box that is like sitting
I
in
don't
front
think
of.
it'll fit if we assemble.
I
the
think
chair.
I think you can fit. It's just you're gonna look a little funny, but then maybe it'll be comfier than this double monoblock you're still sitting on. Admittedly, I'm sitting on these what are these Everlast? I forgot what
Yeah.
brand they are.
These were gifts from
From the gaming
our
group.
previous gaming group.
But at the same time, it's also because they were chairs that could handle my weight.
Yes, we've
And
had
that
a lot
really-
of interesting.
That really should have been a red flag that I was like, I need a chair that could handle my
No,
weight.
because in the previous
No.
condo,
The
chairs,
monoblocks
the chairs were
spread
all
out.
splitting open for everyone, including me.
Yeah, because the floor was slippery. It was slippery vinyl. And then the chairs didn't have enough purchase.
So the laptop, it's a Predator laptop, Noel. And since I decided to splurge on myself, considering it's my 4th laptop ever,
Splurge, but his mom actually gave like a lot of money like last year. No, but still, it was just like, please it was a message of get a computer, right? She was like, get a computer. And I'm glad that he got something that still required more to top up. And yeah,
Kenny mentions, the laptop I'm planning to get has a free gaming chair.
it's a thing, these gaming chair things.
They normally give away, I guess, a chair or a keyboard.
He has a
mouse.
chair and a bag and a keyboard. That's what tells you. So it's a good kit. And then and to be fair, you did replace your phone the other year. So like, I'm so proud of Toby's gadgets moving forward. Next up, iPad. His iPad needs to move because it is a what? Which iPad is this?
It's my second iPad.
No, but like, okay, beyond it being your second, which one is it? You don't even know. It's an Air something.
Air 2.
It's an iPad Air 2. So
What's the model? iPad Air
Did you?
models. See, Air 2 is still there.
Why don't you just go to like oh yeah, go to apple.com and see what the main iPad of feature is. That's the question. Noel says, I look better and good job on the weight loss. Thank you so much. Which is also why I've been like very pruning about a click iPad. I've been so pruning about not being I haven't been able to work out and like well, I stopped my workout plan. So I haven't been on a workout plan for like 10 at least 10 days. Um
So iPad Pro, iPad Air, which is
something.
colored.
Yeah, it's unlabeled what number it is. Oh, but it's like all screen-ish. Okay. Whoa. What is this interface on the website? Oh my god. Okay. This is very interesting UI.
Yeah, and it's very different from the old Apple.
Now we
It's
just scroll
clean.
down.
And
Yeah, it's like so
now
much
they're
color.
like super energy.
Noel, of course, like why can't Mac do giveaways too? That's a very valid, but it's very off-brand for them
Yeah, because
to have giveaways.
remember, Mac is all about giving you less so that you'll pay more because you feel special by spending for things you did not need. See, wala, there's no clear.
So, like, what would you get? You think?
I don't know.
If you don't think, you're probably going to get another iPad Air. But then I feel like you should maybe consider the Pro because you want to draw on it.
Yeah, well, the Pro is what everyone recommends.
Yes.
Because it's really the top of the line thing. But we'll see, because the one JP had us try was not so bad.
That was a Samsung thing.
yeah,
no?
and that felt really nice in terms of response.
Mm-mm.
You know, it felt like you were drawing where you were.
At the same time, though, you just have so many Apple iOS apps, and then I
True.
feel like you're not gonna want to leave that ecosystem. Toby is half Android, half Apple, and which is good for your game design life.
However,
That you can test on both devices.
however, it's,
well, okay, Mitch and you and both say you need the Pro. Nope. Noel also says Pro. Thank you, everyone. Let's now start a new campaign to see how long it's gonna take before Toby decides to buy a new iPad.
okay, let's bet. Will Toby get a new iPad or will quarantine end? Let's see which one will end first.
Sadly, it's hard to tell. both stand a good chance of lasting. So, just saying. Oh, I guess actually we should. I don't know where this episode's going, so, because that's how quarantine episodes go. But I will say I super appreciate more friends and family getting vaccinated.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Yes.
I know it's terrifying to get these things because they are like very new,
and
whatever.
And in as
but
much as we have our hang-ups with certain things because of how it's stupid purchases that were overpriced,
or
etc.,
like or we're
etc.,
still dealing with donations. and
bottom
whatnot.
line is
It's a good thing that people are getting
any
vaccinated.
vaccine is still better than none.
Yeah,
So-
at the way, especially how I think my main concern is how virulent the strains are now and how infectious they are. And while the ultimate severity may theoretically be still not as bad, the mortality rate still isn't that high.
Both are mystical creatures.
Yeah, it's just it's like it's still important to get vaccinated. And vaccinations will not make it impossible for you to get COVID, but it will drastically reduce the chances of requiring serious hospitalization. That's the goal.
Which is huge because that's our main problem now. The hospitals are struggling to keep up. So please get vaccinated if you can. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to understand here in Taguig, like what are the okay. If anything, like I theoretically have a comorbidity in the form of my asthma. Although I haven't had certification on my asthma for a very long time. Like I haven't had any medicine prescribed, especially since my weight loss over the past 2 years. My need for my inhaler has become absolute zero. I'm not on maintenance, but technically I have asthma. So, but then when I go into the Taguig trace thing, I can't find asthma as a
Because
comorbidity.
supposedly it's listed as
Pulmonary
hyper
something.
hypersensitivity,
I don't know.
respiratory something.
Which sounds squirrely. Then I feel guilty. Like I'd rather people with more serious comorbidities get their
Mhm.
vaccine first. And then if Toby's not gonna get one, then what's the point? Then like I'm vaccinated.
No, but you
he's
might
not.
as well.
I mean,
It's
we'll
okay.
see. We'll see.
Better you get na rin, and then you know Admittedly, it's really just wanting to get those steps forward. And oh my gosh, how long will it take?
So if I say yes, chronic respiratory disease, I guess, is what I will declare.
Or let's go further down.
Chronic respiratory tract infection. So the comorbidities listed in the Taguig system are chronic respiratory disease, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, cerebrovascular accident, malignancy, diabetes mellitus, obesity, neurological disease, chronic liver disease, tuberculosis, and chronic respiratory tract infection. And then I'm technically no longer obese, guys. That's
Oh yeah,
amazing.
and it includes asthma nga. Chronic respiratory diseases include asthma, chronic.
So then I have to declare that, and then I need some sort of certification that I have
Oh,
asthma.
pwede rin ako.
For
Sleep
what?
apnea.
Oh, oh yeah, you have apnea. Maybe we should think about it.
Learning every day. I guess let's update our ano.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Noel is happy that his parents are done with their second dose. That's great. Urim is registered but no contact yet for local government. And then yeah, Noel was like neighbor vaccinated for asthma. So then I guess I probably just need certification that I have asthma of some sort. Then I have to talk to a doctor. Oh man, and then should we just should we talk to doctors in the family to help us?
Yeah, it might be that.
Okay, okay. So that's something.
It might even be ano, the doctor who helped us with my apnea because she has records of your asthma.
She doesn't. She's never treated me for my asthma. She treated mom for her asthma. So thing to think about. Okay. Um. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, other than that, or to wrap it up, so there's the Antutan show that you might want to join us in watching tonight. That starts
Now.
probably now.
Now-ish. They're
Yeah.
never quite on time, but that's okay. That's the nature. It's like we were late for a live stream.
Mm.
Please continue to stay safe. Please continue to wear masks and shields. And I know shields are silly,
Mm.
but do something.
Try to
We've been double masking when we
Yeah.
go out, just to be safe.
and try to minimize staying in any enclosed areas that have an enclosed air conditioning system
Yeah.
if as much as possible. It's just it's just too risky now. Because a lot of people are really being lax now because they're thinking, may vaccine na, ganyan, ganyan. So they're less prone to get anything. But there has been also unconfirmed rumors, or that the Indian variant has arrived.
Well, there were some Indian nationals who had COVID when they were here. Then I
It
forget.
hasn't been confirmed.
I
if
haven't
it's that
confirmed what
variant.
variant it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen the impact of that in Singapore. Like it's super spread, and then you have a bunch of people who are vaccinated who are recontracting or contracting COVID. Although I don't know about severity, so I can't really And they're just things I see on the news. So it's tricky, guys. It's very tricky.
So just continue to stay safe, be vigilant. If you will go out or if you will meet with people, just take the extra caution of making sure you disinfect, making sure you don't touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth while you're out there. Because it's very easy to forget that you're so careful and stuff. Then the moment you get home, you're wiping your face with your hands. Don't wash
Clean first.
clean
yeah.
first. It doesn't hurt to be still extra careful. All right. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's pretty much an hour of our check-in episode. I
Yeah.
will consider the iPad Pro. Um, Ultimately, I think the iPad Pro will be best if I could get a pencil.
But
Because
it
that's
looks
what
like
works
well,
best with it.
we'll have to scroll through the website slower this time because there was all these transitions. Pen, keyboard,
And I know it's
color.
it's a question of what works best with Procreate because that's what I really want to do. I really want to start working on comics again, and
That'll be awesome.
yeah, that'll be interesting.
I got to work on my fictions. I think I've been taking a stab at it here and there, and then they're being hidden in my creative website, which is on my main blog subdomain
I
thing.
still feel you should do adult fiction.
Oh, like erotica.
Yeah,
I have some.
yeah, nga, but something that can be
I have erotica.
stuff that can be released. That's what I mean.
I don't know. It's like I don't want my
Then
first
let's-
major work to be erotic. Then I have to do a pen name.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's now a secret when they get your first release, and they're like, they don't know there's an actual first release, which is all about dicks and stuff.
So they didn't see the premature release.
Yeah.
Which is not my problem. Okay. Oh, Noel super like borrow his test. He has the pen. Noel, oh my god, please stop being so generous. Wait lang. Ah. It's okay. We can manage this.
No, no,
I still haven't returned your
I
vest
know,
from Halloween.
I know they're good. It's just that, okay, there was a point I was already ready to buy, but then what I wanted to buy was the pen. But then I realized the pencil didn't work with the model I had. So I looked for other alternative stylus pens that I could use. But then the ones I found that were available locally, I found out did not work with Procreate. See? So,
If we stay entirely in that, and Sharky's with me, but if we stay entirely with the Apple ecosystem, though, I think you'll have no problems.
yeah, but
That's
that
the pro.
means,
That's the pro of buying into the very expensive Apple ecosystem. Is that well, things just work.
yes.
Things just work. Okay, so yeah. And then me personally, I always feel like as given your game design side, that it will always benefit you to have both an Apple and an Android device
Yeah.
for testing.
That's
And
true.
then on the other hand, also, the way you read and your need for reading glasses, bigger is better. So I think you're okay with a tablet.
Unless I like get those big.
I still because I tried having a tablet for a time, then because it's super not my thing. I'm like, here I am on my phone and my Kindle, and that's it. I'm happy. So I don't know.
Phone na, I'm wondering if I should like start to go back to just non-smartphone. Because I rarely really use the phone.
It's okay, so that I can have Telegram and talk to you. Please don't get a phone that can't handle Telegram. Oh my god. Oh my
Anyway,
god.
we've hit 10 so many times, interestingly, for this episode. So that's a hopeful thing.
Thanks so much. It's been a while. We hope that these we ultimately remember we do these quarantines also for you guys. We hope that us just talking about these random things about our quarantine life. We hope that also uh it feels just like we're all having coffee or we're having drinks and just catching up and just talking about all the little things in our lives.
Although we should consider investing on a new camera, maybe even a better microphone.
Oh my god! We had to buy a few webcams for some folks at the office, and then give me Logitech or like A4 Tech cameras. I don't want these weird Chinese models. And then this model, which I've been using for years, is still being sold. God damn it! God damn it! Why is it still this one? So I feel like we've not exactly made leaps and bounds in webcam tech, unless we find a super I don't know streamer setup something. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. I guess that's it. That's all the time we have for this episode. We had a lot of fun.
And we hope you join us next
We
week.
hope you'll
We
join
haven't
us again
figured
next
out
time.
our schedule na naman.
We
The weekend
haven't-
has gone by.
We haven't mapped out what will be next week, but we will. I will already state this early. There is a big possibility there's no Wednesday episode, and there's a huge possibility there's no Friday episode because of RPG games. Wednesday is Vampire, Friday
Oh, and
is
Friday we have a game.
Sam.
Okay, yeah.
Friday is Sam.
Yes.
So, yeah. But we will have the schedules out, and we hope you'll join us then.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill up the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. Sunday is the day that we're most likely to look at this. So I know there's there's probably a queue of questions that we can add. Thank you so much for people who continually add to the queue. Your name is Mitch. Okay. Then, sorry. You can follow us on Twitter, Altovino Shade, RG Sunico.
You could also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. Let us know how you're doing. How are you coping? What are the things that make the days go by better, especially with the summer heat? Oh my God, guys. Please take care of yourself. Please hydrate.
And I roll in safety.
And shade in the privacy of your home.
You know that? Did you see?
We have so many of these.
Feeling.
Be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy Pride. Good